This is a lead pencil. I'm filming, just so you know, honey. This is basically my design. This is going to be a large bushy, like a bushy tree. This is going to be in the background. I don't like the way, this is background trees. This is a big bushy tree behind this one. And these are going to be purple fields. So that's the plan. And what I'm using is a 9x12 UArt, a sanded paper, and it's really mounted on a board. This is what it is right here. It's 280 grade, which means that it's the heavier sanded paper. It goes up from, I think, 240 up to 800, and 800 is the finest sand, and this is the heavier sanded paper. And UArt is my favorite. And what I've done, this size is 9x12, and what I have done is I drew 8x10 into it. That way I can use this area as a test sheet for my, or a test area for my pastels to see if they're the right colors. And I always start out with the darks, and I'm going to start out with a dark blue. And you want to have a very fine, fine touch. Don't want too much. And this is a little dark down here. And since this is going to be purple, what's the opposite of purple? Yellow. So I'm going to use some yellow here. Then I'll be putting some purple on top of it. Maybe put some back in through here too. And the field is going to be a yellowish green. And what is the complement of yellowish green? A red. So I'm going to put red down. And it's color dirt. Then the sky is going to be kind of a lavender color, and so that would be, I think I'm going to put peach up in there. This will be my underpainting. So that's my underpainting. Now I'm going to take a piece of pipe insulation, and that's what this is. You can get it at Home Depot. It's long tubes. Then you just cut a piece off, and it's foam. So it makes a great blender. I like to blend the light first. Then I'm going to blend the red. I'm using a different one so I don't contaminate the colors. And what this does is it just simply fills in all of the sandy areas of the paper. Now I'm going to do the darks. And there is my underpainting. And I want to get all the white areas covered. Okay, so now I can start painting. And I'm going to start again with the darks, and I'm going to use a really dark blue like I just did. Light touch. I have to decide where my light is coming from. I'm going to say my light is right there. There's my sun. So now I'm going to go into it with some dark violet. A little bit of dark red. This is just so we get a variety of colors. Real light touch again. Now I'm going to go into it with my dark green. Go into it with a lighter green. Now I'm going to work on the sky. And if you remember, I said that is going to be kind of a violet color. Very, very light touch. You can see how beautiful that peach is underneath that. I'm going to see if I can keep some of that peach. Those will be sky holes. And then the yellow is going to be a purple. We'll put the dark in first, and then we'll go lighter. Okay, that's the first layer of color. I'm happy with that. Okay, now I'm going to go with a lighter purple lilac, almost a light violet in the sky. Ooh, that's pretty. Now I've picked up some of the green, which I didn't want to do. Just cover that up. Now I'm thinking I want something just a little bit darker than that color for the top and to the end, for the edge. Maybe this is the color I want. Then what I'll do is I'll take the lighter color over it. Now I'm going to take this color back over top of it just to blend it a little bit. Now I'm going to go back into this with a green. And this is just a little bit lighter. Sometimes you have to rub your pastel on some sandpaper to get the edge that you want. I need some dark green back in there. This is kind of a bluish green. I don't see my blue anymore, so I'm going to put some blue back into it. I've covered the blue up. Okay, that's enough for now. Now I'm going to work into the grass. Okay, the idea is to put the dark down first and then put the lights on top of it. And the grass has a lot of orange in it. Oranges and yellows. And so, I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to spray it. I'm going to spray this area down here. And what that does is that it will set the pastel and it will give me more tooth. And what I'm using is Blair Very Low Odor Spray Fix. And I'm going to blow on it just one time just to get some of the excess off. And I sprayed that tree a little bit too. Now I have to let that dry, and it will dry in about 5 minutes, I'm going to say. So I'm just going to take about a 5-minute break, guys. I wanted to take the time to tell you guys about my Patreon page. It's going to launch on September 1st. It's going to have 3 tiers. There's going to be it's a monthly subscription, and the tiers are $3 a month, $7 a month, and $25 a month. And you get different things for each tier. For the $3 a month, you get my newsletter, and you get 1 video per week, plus some few bonus materials. For the second layer, you will get 2 videos a week, and these are video tutorials. And so you will learn a lot. And I also put out challenges on the second tier. The third tier, you will also get a 20-minute Skype phone call from me, and you will get a critique. So the tiers are affordable for everyone. That smaller tier, which is $3 a month, I mean, it can't be much lower than that. And you're going to get some good tutorials from me. The reason why I'm doing this, guys, is I don't get any money from YouTube. And in this pandemic, with my studio closing, I have to start thinking about my art business. My art business is going to pot, if you know what I mean. So I need ways for revenue to come in. So I thought this would be a good way, because I don't, like I said, as much as I love to teach and to put videos on YouTube, I'm not getting anything for it. And I've been doing it out of the kindness of my heart because I love it. And I love you guys. I love your comments and all of that. We're also going to have a Facebook group that is just for the Patreon subscribers. You can put your comments on Facebook, on our Facebook group. You can critique each other. And I'll put challenges up there. So we're going to have a lot of fun, and you will be seeing me at 2 to 3 times a week on my Patreon page. So I hope you give it consideration. It's going to be launched on September 1st, and the videos will come up every Monday and Thursdays of each week. We're going to have paint-alongs. We're going to have a really good time. So give that some consideration. I know some of you are upset because I'm going to start charging, but I have to think of my art business. I have to think of my future. So hopefully you will subscribe. So with all of that said, this is dry now, so I'm ready to go into it. I think I'm going to go into it with a lighter purple first. Very, very light touch. You don't want to put heavy touches into it until right at the end. Where your marks will be heavier. Okay, now I'm going to go into it with a lighter green, and then I'm going to go into it with kind of a orangey yellow into the greens. This is kind of a peachy color. I think I'm going to go with it, the same peach that I used up there. What you want to do when you are working with pastels, you always want to clean off the side that you're working on. As you can see, I picked up green. That's why you want to do that. Starting to come together. Look at the purple from going over the top of the green. You always want to wipe those things off. Now, I need to work in this area right here. This is a much lighter green. I want to give it some oomph. A pop. Don't like it down there, so I have to change that. Put some dark back on top of that. It's easy, actually, to correct your mistakes with pastel. Very, very light touches. I wanted to put some light down in here because your sun is hitting it down there. Maybe a little bit more blue right there. My line, where's my line? My line's about right in through here. Did not do it. I have to get it darker at the bottom because your light is up here, and so this would be your shadowed area. And I don't have it yet. My tooth is starting to get filled. So how do I fix that? How do I fix my tooth? By spraying it again to get more tooth. And I'm going to spray this area right here. I have to let that dry again. So I can work in this area down here while that's drying. Yeah, I like that. I like all of this very much. I do want to lighten up my horizon line. I will be doing that yet. Now, this area right in here, don't know what I want to do yet. I'm going to try a couple things. I like that. I have a fly. It's driving me crazy. Now I just have to get this area here worked, the green. I'm liking that. I am just barely touching it. Barely touching it. And I want to use the up and down stroke so it looks like grasses. Where it does, like right in through here, it looks like grasses. Not quite there yet. Close, 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 close. What color is this? This is that very, very light pinkish lilac. And I'm wiped it off a little bit. I'm going to put it right along this edge. And then I'm going to blend it just slightly. Then I'll take the green up into it. See how I'm blending with my pastel? Barely touching it. Now, I want to get something to blend that better with. What can I use? I have a couple things here I'm going to try. What about a brush? Didn't think about that. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to go into the edge with some green, just to soften that up just a little bit. Okay, now here we go. Here we go, let's try this again. Now I have to blend that in a little bit better. Some darks. It's always one area that gives you a headache. And this is my headache right here. Trying to put some blue into that. And I want to put some deep violet into it. I think instead of having that straight line, I'm going to bring that purple up over top of it. I'm doing this so I can have different colors. This area right here is kind of blah. And I'm wiping my pastels before. I'm just going to use tiny little marks. See what that looks like. Well, I like that. Pressing a lot harder now. Much harder. It's going to be lighter back here and darker up front. You need to get something just a little bit lighter than this. That's not doing it. See, now looking at this, this is almost the same width the whole way across. Can you see that? So that has to change. Definitely has to change. I'm going to get this if it's the last thing I do. I'm going to get it, guys. Maybe I need some really dark purple. Maybe that's my problem. Try something a little bit darker because it looks kind of eh. Well, that makes a difference. Definitely makes a difference. Put a little bit of purple up in the tree. I like it. I don't like my foreground. Maybe a little bit bright green. Nope, that's too much. You have to be so careful about overdoing. Put a little bit of green in through here. Push these back because they're further back in the background. Now this is a hard pastel. A green hard pastel that I'm now. This is an orange hard pastel. These are new pastels that I'm using. Push some of that back. Well, you know what, guys? I'm happy with it. I'm going to put some of that peach up in here too. Yeah. Put a little bit of peach up here in the tree. Touch it just to blend it in a little bit. And this is stopping too abruptly. I'll blend it right there. Blend it right there. Put a little bit more vivid. And this is kind of a darker violet. Okay, let's get a mat and see what this looks like. I have to clean off my hands first. You can see I should be wearing gloves, but I don't. I'm going to get a 9 by 12 mat, put that around it, and we'll see what we have. That's the only way you can really tell. And I use wet ones to clean my hands off. Takes all that dust off. Let me get a mat. Okay, I have a 11 by 14 mat. And there we have it. I love it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. And don't forget about my Patreon page. Don't crucify me, okay? I'm just thinking about the business and continuing it on. So, and by the way, some of the things I want to point out to you. Can you see how this connects you up to the tree? Because the tree is really the focal area. I'm just wondering if I want to put a little bit of purple right there. I don't know. That was not the right color. Nope. Just push it back just a little bit. Yep. So there we have it, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate you, and I love you, and give me your comments. I think I'll put a little bit of dark right in through here, right here. So that's the only thing I'm going to do yet, and I'm going to do that right now. There we go. All right, I'm happy with it. I'll take a picture of it and I'll give you guys a close-up. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget, subscribe please, and subscribe to my Patreon. It will not be ready until September the 1st. That's the first day that I'm launching. So I'll see you soon. Okay, here's a close-up. Very happy with this. Although that foreground really gave me a hard time. I'm very happy with it. You can see how loose it is. Actually very, very loose. Thanks for watching, guys. Love you.